Over the last few years, pro snowboarders have made a discovery that has completely changed the course of freestyle snowboarding. If you've ever wondered why backside spins have turned so ridiculous to the point that we're seeing 2360s, it's because of this one super interesting technical change they made to their riding. And in this video, we're going to explain it. In the past, backside rotations were set downwards over the tail of the snowboard. If we go and break down Mark McMorris, who's one of the all-time best at this, as he's snapping off a lip, we can see that his shoulders and chest are pointed down towards that tail. This is making it so he's getting a downward rotation, and this downward rotation works absolutely fantastic for backside 12s, backside 1600s, but it starts to hit a limitation. And I was thinking about this as I was going and training my own snowboarding, and I was having a really hard time getting past 1260s. I was trying some 14s and I was trying some 1600s, but they were inconsistent and they weren't using the constant cork that I'm seeing out of the pros today. But I managed to make a change to unlock the constant cork, and this change I actually discovered through a mistake on my cab spins. So here on the right, we have a very bad cab 10 attempt. I was just trying to keep it flat here, but I ended up over snapping the spin, and this set my rotation downwards. So see, as my rotation snaps, my upper body is now coming and throwing down. Where here on the left, on my front side rotation, my chest is coming up and lifting, and I'm throwing my rotation upwards. But as you go and over snap a front side spin, your rotation goes from upwards, what you want it to be, and it turns into a downward rotation. This is making it so my momentum's coming down this way, sort of like a backside spin. And because of this, I go and get into this front roll position, very uncontrollable, very bad on a cab spin. But when we go onto a backside spin and we start doing this, we start seeing something really interesting. As I come into the lip of a jump and I start snapping my spin, I'm actually doing the same over snap technique, and because I'm over snapping a backside spin, instead of a downward rotation, it's turning into an upwards rotation. And this small change that is a mistake in some spins has been the reason why we've seen such massive progression out of backside rotations. So let's go and explain how the pros are doing it and how it works. So on the right here, we have Mark doing the OG style, throwing down over the tail and doing one of the best 1620s you can really physically do with the old style. And on the left here, we have an absolutely fantastic 2160 utilizing the new technique. And on the in-runs, we can see it's very similar for both taking very wide, gradual heel edge approaches, getting their hips, upper bodies open. At this point, it's pretty much all the same. Right here is where we see the first change. Mark is fully extended with his legs, well, not fully, 95%, very tall over top of his board. This is generally what you want to be doing because the taller you're over your board, the more you'll be able to generate your snap in this one direction. Where if you're hunched over or bent over, if you go and snap, it's going to make it so your rotation is now set downwards towards the lip of the jump, and you're not getting lift. So you're not getting as pure of power. And what we're seeing here is this extra bend in the leg. So normally this is a big mistake that you'd want to take out of your riding. But the reason why he's doing it is because adding bend to your legs adds extra mobility in your upper and lower body, allowing you to do more disconnect. And this disconnection is allowing him to extend and pop his upper body all the way around. So as he takes off, his chest is now pointed upwards in the sky instead of having a shoulder downwards. See how Mark's shoulder here is throwing downwards and it's pulling all the way down. Where on the left, he's going pulling the shoulder down, but then continuing the snap motion. So as he snaps off, he's now in this upward chest position, head looking at the knuckle. This is the secret to the constant cork and the constant spot, and the whole reason why we've seen backside spins absolutely explode in recent years. And this isn't too applicable for like backside 360s, backside like 720s, because you'd be doing most of the rotation already. But I was testing out with backside 1080s, 12s, 14s, and oh my goodness, it sure makes these rotations a lot easier. So as he's doing it, he's adding this bend, increasing the range of motion, and then a big change that also he's making is focusing on the hip rotation. So his arms are snapping relatively slow, and he's relying on pulling with his core and pulling with his hips. That's a really important thing for this. You need to make sure that your hips are the primary place you're getting power. And then you want to make sure you're driving it all the way overextending as much as you can. You physically can't get enough extension here. And as you go and over snap and over rotate it, your rotation is now set upwards, and this makes it so beneficial because now as you're spinning the spin at 650 here, you're set into an upward rotation so you can pull in. Where with Mark's style, the downward motion, the OG way, at this point, if you tried to go and tuck in, you'd be set downwards. And that's why when we see Mark finishing this trick, he's finishing the 14th and doing a late 180 utilizing counter rotation, where these guys can just continue the rotation. Here he's doing it pretty flippy, but still, watch his head and watch how he instantly rotates on the same axis. Comes up, snaps, overextends the upper body, pushes through the hips, head right here, stationary, and now watch the spot. Coming through, and it's basically in the exact same spot the whole way. He's rotating around his front foot as the axis point and not pulling his head, and is able to continue that motion the whole time. And that's why backside spins have been completely revolutionized, and we're going to see them continue to grow. And I highly recommend going and watching the pros, seeing them on Instagram, and next time you see X Games, see if you can spot if the snowboarder is throwing in the OG way, throwing down over their tail, or if they're over snapping that spin and using the new style to hit that constant cork and that constant spot. Because you're going to see some guys still doing it the old way, but the more the sport progresses and the more things continue to change, if you want to stay competitive, you'll have to go and adjust and approach this new style snowboarding. I'm very excited for it. It's very interesting. Sometimes it hurts to change, but man, the possibilities for what this opens up is truly endless, and I can't wait to see what the best riders of the world do with it. If you like more videos like this one, leave a comment below, and we'll be back at it with another one soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.